Good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday, July 19th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. It is Tuesday morning, and the sun is shining, and we had good rain yesterday, about an inch and a half or more at my house, and I think some other people got some needed rain as well. Well, we, of course, are on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital each Tuesday at this time, and twice a month, Tracy Pope comes out and brings a medical professional. And Tracy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is good to see you this morning, and we've got something to talk about. A couple of things really real quickly here. We'll get to last night in a minute, but a week ago, not last weekend, but the week before, the marriage at your house.
Yes. Our daughter got married, and we are so excited. We had a wonderful event and are truly so blessed. Our family just thoroughly enjoyed it, and we just had a fantastic time. So, yes, very happy, very excited. Our daughter married a wonderful young man, and we're truly blessed.
And she is doing quite well, even have changed careers, but liking what she's doing now, as well as being in Washington, D.C., maybe.
I know. She was our traveler. She left for school and lived in Europe a little bit, went to D.C. after college, and then here she married a hometown young man and has moved back, and we're just all here with the family. So we're just, truly blessed.
And about last night, the reverse drawing, a happy ending, I guess.
Very exciting, very exciting. I've been on the board for Leadership Wilson for a while and a past president. And so you've always supported our reverse draw. We have that every other year. That's our main fundraiser. And 2 years ago, we had to have a virtual reverse draw, which I don't think anybody even knew what that was before COVID. So we did a Facebook Live. So this year was the first year that I really experienced helping host and being involved. And we had that last night, and it was a fantastic time. We had 2 winners, and just very exciting down to the last minute. And, unfortunately, you were the 264th ticket drawn, and you made it really close, Coleman. I was rooting for you the whole time.
36 or 35, I guess, left after mine was drawn.
Correct.
Something like that. Anyway,
Yep.
But the final 10, it's always funny. But unfortunately, 3 of them weren't there with their tickets. So it was between 7 and it got down to 2.
Yes, it went down to 2. Some people were holding out, and that made it even more fun and exciting.
Well, the winners, we can say who got $5,000 apiece last night.
Yes, you knew one of them. What was the one?
Diana Cavender.
Yes, and then Sam Anderson. Sam actually bought his ticket from me, and we're in Mount Juliet Noon Rotary together. He's an architect in Mount Juliet, so I knew Sam, and it was pretty exciting.
All right, we better get to what you're really here for this morning. And, of course, when you bring a medical professional, we have a lot to talk about. And before we get to that, there's a big event coming up here that the hospital's greatly involved in.
Yes. 2 weeks ago when we were on the radio, we had Dr. Lance LeClaire. He is our sports orthopedic surgeon for Vanderbilt, and we are hosting a seminar conference this Saturday, Treatment of Sideline Emergencies and Sports Injuries. It's a primer for parents, coaches, and medical professionals. So we're so excited that Dr. LeClaire has really just been the leader in this. Vanderbilt always has a sports conference similar to this in Nashville, but he wanted to bring something to Wilson County. So this is going to be hosted this Saturday, July the 23rd, starting at 8 a.m. at Green Hill High School. You can find information. We have it on Facebook. You can just Google. We have an Eventbrite page set up, so you can go online and register. We want to make sure when you attend, if you're a parent, a coach, or a medical professional, so we can put people in different groups, but we have lots of physicians helping this year. Some of the physicians that are helping host will be Dr. Ritchie, Dr. Terry, Dr. Diamond, Dr. LeClaire, and several others. Vanderbilt, we sponsor an athletic trainer in all 5 of our Wilson County high schools, so they're going to be helping participate as well. But we're really excited to bring this information just to our parents, our coaches, and then any medical professional as well.
Okay. Now, are we ready for our guest today?
I think so. We had a lot to talk about, didn't we?
Yes.
So we have Dr. Arham with Vanderbilt Heart at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. He joined us this year, and we are here to just learn all about his specialty and hear from him this morning.
All right, Dr. Aman Arham, good morning and welcome to our program.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I want to know a little bit about you. Anytime we have, especially the first time you come, we ask a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your training, what you're all about.
Yeah, I was raised in Pakistan, and I moved to the U.S. after finishing my med school. I did my internal medicine residency, cardiology fellowship, and interventional cardiology fellowship in West Virginia, in Morgantown at West Virginia University Hospital. And then I was in part of faculty over there for a few years before I did an advanced fellowship at Yale, New Haven Hospital with the Yale School of Medicine in New Haven, Connecticut. And now I'm here.
And you're from Pakistan?
Yes.
At what age did you come here?
I was probably 24 years old in 2008.
So most of your life then has been spent here in the U.S.?
Yes, I've been here for like now 14, 15 years now.
How did you get to be in the medical profession? What prompted that? How did that start?
I had some family members, like my uncles, who were physicians as well. And it just kind of like, I was a brighter kid growing up, and I just kind of like, felt this was the right way to go. And, things, sometimes you kind of just move in one direction and doors keep opening for you, and it just kind of worked that way.
How difficult was it to get where you are? I know you have to spend a lot of time, and I think you have to do quite a bit of studying and maybe deny yourself some other things in order to put in that time. But was it okay? You seem to be okay.
Yeah, no, I think like as one gets older, you kind of you understand and realize that all professions require hard work. It's not just medicine, whether any kind of degree, law, anything that you pursue requires a bit of hard work. And I think medicine's the same. Medicine just like requires a little more commitment, like more years of training before the reward at the end. So, but if you're motivated for it, you should go for it.
Tell us about your practice.
So, I'm a cardiologist and interventional cardiologist. So, my practice is based on preventive cardiology and preventing cardiovascular care. So we see patients who have established coronary artery disease or established vascular disease, or they may be at risk of developing these disease processes. So we see all kinds of patients.
And how long have you been at Vanderbilt?
So I joined Vanderbilt in February of this year. So I've been here for nearly 5-6 months now.
And where were you directly before that?
So the last place I was in New Haven, Connecticut for my advanced fellowship. And before that, I was in practice in West Virginia, Morgantown.
Well, let's talk about cardiovascular disease. I think most people have some idea of what we're talking about, but just what is cardiovascular disease?
So I think in simplifying terms, cardiovascular disease process is kind of a process of how the human body ages and gets older. So when the human body ages and gets older, there amongst many things which are happening, there is deposition of cholesterol and calcium in the blood vessels of the body, and it's happening at different paces. It's happening in the blood vessels of the heart, blood vessels of the leg, in the blood vessels of the neck, everywhere. And effectively, when that process builds up over time, it manifests in the form of cardiovascular disease.
Well, how does a patient know whether to see a cardiologist as opposed to their regular physician?
I think everyone should, but at this day and age, like everyone should have an insight of how their body is doing and how they're feeling. Meaning that that you don't just have to see a cardiologist after you have had a problem or after you've been diagnosed with a disease process or after you have had a cardiovascular event. One should be, if you're at risk of having a problem, or if you know of a family member or there's a family history of had any heart problem, you should, I would encourage you to see a heart doctor, because you may be seeing a heart doctor for primary prevention, meaning that you are trying to prevent yourself from having a problem down the road. And of course, you could be seeing a heart doctor for secondary prevention, meaning that you have had a problem and your heart doctor is managing your risk profile after that.
Does somebody need to be referred to see you? They need to have a referral, or do they come directly to you?
We see both kind of patients. We see patients who come from referrals, and we also have patients who are self-referred, who have looked us up or messaged us online, or heard good things about us in their local community or at church, and we see patients of all referrals.
All right, one more thing. We'll take a break. Where if people come to see you, where do they go?
So our address is at 1421 West Bador Parkway. So we're right in the center of our town in Lebanon, and we're in location. We have clinic 4 days of the week, and my partner and I, Dr. Wong and myself, we're basically on call 24/7, 365. We're available by phone, so you can reach us for any kind of emergencies.
Yeah, so he and Dr. Wong, their office is right on our Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital's campus. I know lots of us used to remember a duck pond, and that was kind of a designation. So his office is right behind the duck pond where it used to be. We don't have that anymore, but really close to the outpatient center, but right there on our campus.
Okay, let's take a break. More coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. Lamprey, quality tractor implements including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty. Extremely durable and well built. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's still a bit heavy here on 24 westbound and through the Hickory Hollow area. All that traffic coming out of Rutherford County. They're trying to clear a wreck out here on 24 eastbound. It's on the Sullivan Evans Bridge. That's 24 east just past Shelby. They've managed to move it over to the side, but it's got a little extra slow here trying to get past the football stadium on 24, especially going eastbound. There's a high demand for dental assistants. Dental Staff School has an amazing 98% placement rate. Google Dental Staff School. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Charles Lehman is asking for your vote for Wilson County Trustee August 4th. Charles grew up in Noreen and has been a lifelong resident of Wilson County. Charles Lehman brings a strong education tempered with decades of experience to provide the citizens of Wilson County with a rock-solid background for their next trustee. Working as an appraiser for the Comptroller of the Treasury for 34 years and going into real estate after retirement, Charles brings a strong foundation to serve as your next trustee. Paid for by committee to elect Charles Lehman Treasurer.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
And again, good morning. Our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Tracy Pope is here, and Tracy, you got something else to tell us.
Yeah, Yeah, so Dr. Aram and Dr. Wong, we are having a ribbon cutting celebrating our interventional cardiology services that are new to the hospital this year as we brought on the new physicians. And it's going to be next Tuesday, July the 26th at 10 a.m. We're doing this in collaboration with the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. So we will have a ribbon cutting right there at the main entrance of the hospital. A few speakers, just say a few words, some light refreshments. So come join us next Tuesday, July the 26th at 10 a.m. at the main entrance of the hospital outside.
All right, great. Dr. Ahmad Arham, Dr. Ahmad Arham,
Yes.
I got it right that time.
Yes.
Is with us this morning. Came to this country from Pakistan, but you went to Yale. And you mentioned that, I think, when you were telling us about yourself, but you didn't tell much about that. Expound on that a little, if you will.
Yeah, so after I was in practice in West Virginia for a few years in interventional cardiology, I've done an additional year of training in peripheral vascular interventions. Basically, the disease process of getting blockages in the heart, like I mentioned, alluded to earlier, also happens in other blood vessels of the body. So it also happens in the blood vessels which supply the legs, for example. In extreme cases, it can start manifesting with symptoms of discomfort when people are exercising or performing exertion activities. In extreme cases, if those blockages are worse, they can affect the blood supply to the extremities, for example, to the toes, and cause wounds. Or if someone gets an accidental wound, it can cause ulceration. In extreme cases, those wounds cannot heal, and people can end up requiring amputations. For example, you may have heard that happening in people who have diabetes or kidney troubles. This additional fellowship training allowed me to learn how to perform interventions to improve the blood supply in case of extreme disease processes, which can help with wound healing and limit the size of amputation.
Well, as we know, you are an interventional cardiologist. What exactly is interventional cardiology, and what can you do to help patients with a heart attack?
Right. So interventional cardiology is like a subspecialty of cardiology. So you have a heart doctor who is trained in invasive procedures, and they can perform minimally invasive interventions, meaning if by just having a small access to your body, like putting a very small tube in your wrist or the groin, we're able to gain access towards the blood vessels of your heart and perform a needed intervention if someone is having a heart attack or someone has any other problems of their heart valves. In the same way, like we're performing interventions for the heart, we can perform interventions of the legs.
What would a patient expect for the hospital course after a heart attack?
It actually kind of depends about when they're presenting, if they're truly having a heart attack, because someone who is presenting sooner would have suffered less damage to the heart muscle, and you can reach them quickly and treat them quickly. So in the best case scenarios, if someone is having a small heart attack, they can actually get their procedure done the same day and go home the next day. If they're having a bigger heart attack and they come to us sooner, they can get to go home within 2 days, within 2 nights. So it's a pretty short turnaround time.
And when Vanderbilt, purchased our hospital, I looked at all the services that we already had here at the hospital and identified those services that we needed, and interventional cardiology was at the top of the list. So we had been recruiting for physicians to come to our hospital almost since the very beginning. So to have Dr. Aram and Dr. Wong here with us and able to do interventional cardiology services is truly, a blessing for this community. And it's not just bringing 2 physicians to the hospital. hospital. They have been training our teams at the hospital, our cardiovascular service team at the hospital. They have an outpatient clinic, and now if someone is having a heart attack, they can come to our hospital and have the procedures that they need and not have to go to another facility. We are working on bringing the service 24/7, so that's just an ongoing goal that we have. But it's really incredible that we are now able to treat patients that are having heart attacks and just treat them right here in Wilson County.
Well, are we going to see any changes as far as cardiovascular care for patients? I mean, the fact that what you have done is a change. Will there be additional change, or are we at the top right now?
Right, and so I think we have a lot of good plans that we are actually moving towards, and Tracy just alluded to it. Is one would be to provide 24/7 care for any kind of urgencies or emergencies for cardiac in cardiovascular medicine. But more than that, I think I've been here for nearly 6 months. I think the most important thing which I've noticed is that we are able to provide excellence of care for cardiovascular medicine in our community, and people don't have to drive 20-30 miles every few months or so to see specialists in Nashville or with any of the associated health and network systems. We are able to provide, like I said, for secondary prevention if you have a problem, if you already have a problem. But we are also going to provide excellence of care for primary prevention. If you are at risk of having a problem, you should be able to come and see physicians of excellence in your community who should be able to help you out. And I think that is what we are intending to provide, and we're already on that track now.
Well, I think that with what you have established here now, you probably going to be drawing people from adjoining counties, especially to the north and east
yes,
here, who maybe come to Lebanon rather than having to go all the way to Nashville.
Absolutely. And, interventional cardiology is just one of the services, of the many services that Vanderbilt has brought. I've worked at the hospital for 7 years, and I used to only see helicopters land and take patients away. But now we see other hospitals sending patients to our facility for us to take care of them and manage their acuity. So it's been an incredible change. And I feel like every time I come on the radio, we have another exciting specialty to talk about, and just the investments that Vanderbilt is making in Wilson County. And it's just an exciting time.
Right. And just to expand on what Tracy has said, exactly, so because one thing is that, all the institutions in the main campus at Nashville, there's always a bed crunch and people are waiting for a few days or so. But with providing interventional cardiology coverage, we have taken away that kind of wait that, the people were going through of 24 hours, 48 hours to get to that final step of treatment. We are able to provide that coverage over here. We're open for business. We're already getting transfer from facilities who are further east than us. And, we are able to take care of those patients the same day, the next day, and get them back on their feet and back home.
Well, I think you've been here just about 6 months, just about to be 6 months. I hope we have welcomed you properly and that you like Lebanon so far.
Absolutely, yes. It's been a very good time over here, yes.
We got a couple of minutes. Tracy, you might mention this ribbon cutting celebration again next Tuesday, 10 o'clock.
Yes. In collaboration with the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce, we're going to have a ribbon cutting.
And it's always good to have the chamber and their ambassadors and the entourage that they bring. It's like a celebration.
It's wonderful. We just provide the invitation, and then they provide the support. So we love being part of the chamber. Our president, Scott McCarver, is on the board for the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber. So we're honored to have him serving in that way. But this ribbon cutting will be outside the main entrance of the hospital as we celebrate our interventional cardiology services that we are bringing to the hospital and to the community, and that is through Dr. Aram and Dr. Wong's practice. So we're really excited about that. Just a ribbon cutting. We have trying to get it not in the middle of the day, so 10 o'clock, that might not be the best time for everybody, but hopefully it won't be too hot. We'll have a little bit of shade, some refreshments, and you can hear all about our services.
And I think from what you said, it won't be too long.
No, ribbon cuttings are very quick. We'll cut the ribbon, say a few words, have a few refreshments, and just celebrate.
Dr. Arm, you've got to really be pleased about this too. That we take a little time here to celebrate your arrival and all that is taking place here in interventional cardiology services.
Yeah, no, I think I'm very happy to be here, and the place has been very welcoming. All the people I'm working with, the physicians and our ancillary staff, they're very kind, and our patient population over here is also very welcoming and kind. So I'm very blessed to be here.
All right, got just time to mention this sports injury.
Yes, it's a sports conference this Saturday, hosted by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital and Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. Dr. Lance LeClaire, he's one of our full-time sports medicine physicians, and he is working with lots of our other orthopedic physicians, Dr. Ritchie, Dr. Terry, Dr. Diamond, Dr. LeClaire, and many others. And it's a primer for parents, coaches, and medical professionals. So, whether you fit in one of those boxes, you might be on the field with your child at some point, and there be a medical emergency and someone needs to be able to respond immediately. So this is just kind of touching on those first responder, what to do, how to do it, and until your medical professional is there to support.
Well, that's our program this morning. But Dr. Ahmed Arim, thanks so much for being with us. We hope you enjoy your stay here. And Tracy, another good program as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Coleman. Always good to see you.
Stay with us for more. This is Coleman and Company on FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Looks like a crash getting some attention, blocking the left lane, 65 southbound here at the North Loop. Now that's going to cause traffic to run a little bit heavier on 65 southbound at Trinity Lane because of this wreck over here near the North Loop on 65 southbound. They're still trying to wrap up that crash 24 east at the Solomon Evans Bridge. That's why it's crawling down past the football stadium on 24 eastbound now at Shelby. Hey, there's a high demand for dental assistants. Dental Staff School has an amazing 98% placement rate. Google Dental Staff School. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
I'm Glenn Denton and your primary candidate for 20th District Commissioner. I'm the only real conservative on the ballot and the only one listed for this seat. But I have 2 write-ins opposing me, so I need each one of your votes. No more huge property tax hikes or piling up a big debt. We have gone over 25 years without proper representation, and I have served 33 years in this district spiritually, truthfully, and boldly. It's time for a wise choice, a clear voice for clean government. Elect Glenn Denton, 20th District Commissioner.
Contact Stephen Lowry Land Clearing for all your land clearing needs. Whether it's clearing trails for ATVs, reclaiming pasture, or clearing your land of brush and trees, Stephen Lowry can get the job done. He works closely with customers, adjusting to make changes as you want. Steve Lowry will give you quality work at a price that you can afford. He will also beat any written estimate. Call Stephen Lowry at 615-970-8154 for all your land clearing needs. That's Stephen Lowry Land Clearing, 615-970-8154.
Highs will creep up into the lower 90s today with partly cloudy skies and an isolated shower or storm. Most will stay dry, and we will continue the mainly dry weather for the remainder of the week. Tonight's weather features a few clouds from time to time and lows in the middle 70s. Wednesday will be very hot with middle 90s, sunny skies, and a heat index between 105 and 110. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Eric Striva.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2 here on a Tuesday morning. It's time to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. Sean Dozier is with us. He's Executive Director, and he's got a special guest this morning. But, Sean, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Coleman. It's great to be here. Every once in a while, I like to bring a special guest to be with us, and
Well, you really got a special one.
I do. I didn't realize how popular she was. We at Hearthside every several times a month. Somebody asked me, "Well, how's Ada Midget doing? Is Ada Midget still there? Tell Ada Midget hello." So today I just brought Ada Midget with me.
It is so good to see you. We'd give each other a big hug here. You used to do the Bloodmobile, and you come out here and publicize that with us, we've,
about 20 years.
Done a few things together in other respects. I can't think of them all right now, but you were such a part of our community here. You still are, but in a different way. But it's good to see you this morning.
Just good to be here.
Well, tell us about your experience at Hearthside. That's what Sean wants you. Sean wants you to put in a good word here this morning.
Well, Hearthside is a wonderful place. They have 3 meals a day. We have plenty of help there. If you need anything, all you have to do is just push the button and they're right there.
How long have you been there, a resident?
2 years, July the 1st.
Okay, so you the last 2 years, the last 2 years in what, 18 days or whatever, you've been
I've been at Hearthside.
Yeah. You were going to say something?
No, keep talking. Keep talking.
Well, you knew about it, obviously, beforehand. You probably visited a lot of people.
Oh, yes.
And so on.
Did a little help when they built the building and they took up money. I couldn't do much, but I put a little donation in on it. So.
Well, there was any other special attraction? The experience you've had there is probably more. You knew about it, but now you've experienced it.
Well, I've experienced it. We stay busy. We have activity room, and Betty is our activity director, and she is really, really good. She comes out here every once in a while for you, so you should know her. And
I believe you listen to this.
I listen to you every day.
Nothing's changed. Thank you much.
Well, a lot of people.
I even hear him when he's on.
A lot of people remember when Ada worked at the bank, Lebanon Bank, for many years, and then she was telling me it was on the square.
42 years.
Before that, she worked at Commerce Union Bank, correct?
4 years.
4 years. So a lot of people know Ada, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean, at least 2 or 3 times a month, people ask me how she's doing, and I remember her working at the county fair at the general store for all those years. And it was great when she moved in Hearthside. I just got to know her more, and she's just a wonderful lady.
What of the activities that you have there? Do you play bingo?
We do bingo
you like it?
once a week. I love it. I wish we did it every day. I could do that every day.
All right. So that's one of the things you really like.
I really like the bingo. I love all of our activities. We have a lady that comes and does drawing with us, teaches us how to draw, and we draw pictures, and we just have several different people come and do different things. So.
And you don't get hungry.
You don't get hungry.
Now
There's 3 good meals a day.
Those who need help with their medication, I guess that's all.
Oh, we have a nurse there. She's there.
Yeah.
So we have everything. I can't think of anything that we need that we don't have.
Well, do you ever walk outside or do any gardening or anything like that over there?
You can do that. We have not done that much this year, Betty, because of the virus and all that to begin with. Betty said that usually we did more.
But you're enjoying
gardening.
Yourself, and life is good.
Life is real good.
All right.
And I'm 92 and still here, so.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you've got a good one here, son.
Well, she's a great example of somebody that, when somebody thinks, hey, I want to move into assisted living, I'm just going to sit down and do nothing. Well, assisted living is far from that. It's a full day. You really do increase your quality of life if that's something that you want to do. And again, 3 meals a day, social activities, and housekeeping, laundry, all of it's included in one price. And it really does provide a great service for folks who need that.
And I suppose you can participate as much or as little as you want. Nobody twists your arm all day.
No. We've got a few that don't hardly come to anything. They stay in their room or they go out front and look at TV. We have a real nice sitting place out front with chairs, comfortable chairs, and a big TV. So you can sit out there all day if you wanted to, but... There's too much to
Ada
do.
Midget, it is so good to see you today, and glad you're doing well, and I think you're great for 92.
She is great.
And Sean, I guess it's time for a Hearthside hello.
Well, I wanted to use my Hearthside hello. You know, we become a family at Hearthside, and I wanted to use my time here to just say our sympathy goes to Bulldog Thompson and Clayton Gray, both residents at Hearthside, passed away over the past few days. So just wanted to send our sympathies to those two families. Local families, been around a long time, and you hate to lose great people like that.
Well, I remember when Bulldog Thompson played football at Lebanon High, and
he was a
Clayton
star.
Gray, I think, was on the fair board. And
he was.
Good member of our community.
He and Robbie are great people.
Well, thanks for being with us
Thank
today,
you.
and Ada, so good to see you.
Well,
Hearthside Senior Living, Retirement Assisted Living Community 215, Castle Heights Avenue North, right here in Lebanon. Sean, of course, Executive Director, and you can call him at 615-443-1994. 21 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Mike Jennings joins us this morning to talk about whatever we want to talk about. Good morning, Mike.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Oh, it is good to see you as always, and hope things
Same
are going
here.
well. I was in your fair city Sunday, but I missed the Jazz Festival. Just couldn't make it this year. I wanted to, but it just didn't. But I understand you had a good one. And
All indications are it was a big success, and weather, other than the usual July heat that you expect, held off. Didn't have any rain that I know of. I certainly didn't that night. I was over there that night. And yeah, we had a lot drier event than the last one I saw you out in Watertown.
well, I was on the square for a little while Sunday afternoon in Watertown and saw John Jewell, and he was there doing some cleanup work. It looked like he never quits.
In constant motion.
He and Jeff Tonks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And both of them in constant motion.
Well, we had a commission meeting last night, but you and I usually talk a little sports. I don't know. The baseball all-star game is tonight. I'm always for the National League, but now that they've made the designated hitter a universal thing, I don't have any a special reason to be against the American League.
Yeah.
I don't really like that.
I don't care for it either. I'm a purist, but my city council meeting always conflicts with the All-Star game. And a couple of years ago, it worked out where it wasn't. The All-Star game was on the second Tuesday, and the council was third. But tonight, we're back on the same track. So I'll get probably there see about the fourth inning or so. But the starters will be gone.
Well, any news from the Hill, and by that, if you're not a UT fan, you might not know what the Hill means. But Mike Jennings is the biggest UT football fan I know of, having not missed a game since 1987, home, away, or bowl game, something like that.
That's true, and we're getting close to starting up again. They'll start practice here in a couple of weeks, and it's hard to believe that. Once that happens, the summer's pretty much gone. And it's hard to believe that because we wait all year for the summer, and then I love baseball, but people kind of push it to the side when they start practicing.
Well, they do get to show off a little bit more tonight with the All-Star. The baseball All-Star game is probably the best All-Star game of any sport, in my opinion. It always has been.
I agree.
I mean, people don't care about the Pro Bowl, not really.
No.
And I don't know what to do in pro basketball.
Well, they just run up and down the floor and shoot. They don't play any defense or pass it or anything.
The baseball All-Star game, though, started in the 30s, I think. And I remember from about 1947 on, I have probably not missed many of those, and I love it.
And they're good games, and the players seem to give their best effort. The other All-Star games, I don't think you get that. I think it's more about them than it is their team. So,
well,
anyway.
You are somewhat of a Braves fan, I think.
Yeah, somewhat. Pretty much. If I had to pick somebody.
2 games maybe behind the Mets, I believe.
Yeah, they lost one Sunday. Everybody was expecting them to beat Washington. And speaking of Washington, what about Juan Soto? $440 million, 15 years, and he turns it down. Says, I want to play for a winner.
Well, to each his own. That's something I don't want to get into, except, and it's not a jealousy thing, but all that money to get out here.
Too much.
There's
by far. You know it when you go to a major league game, what it costs you to sit there and buy, what it costs you to buy tickets, what it costs you to buy a hot dog and a Coca-Cola and all that stuff. And as long as they get that TV money, Coleman, they don't care. And the SEC is going the same way, college football.
Yeah.
They're pricing the tickets out of the family of four going to more than maybe one game a year. But as long as they get those millions of dollars in TV money, they don't care. And they'll play at 11 o'clock on Saturday night in the middle of November if TV tells them to.
Well, real quickly, what'd you do? Did you do anything last night?
Yeah, we did. We had a meeting that we thought would last 35, 40 minutes, and we got out of there at 9:35 last night. We had a zoning issue.
3 hours?
2 hours and 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And we had a zoning issue that took up most of the evening, probably an hour and 40 minutes or so of debate and public hearing and vote. And then when we got to the other stuff, it moved relatively quickly. When we started the night, we only had one resolution, and that was the day of prayer for our schools.
Mm-hmm.
And then we picked up a couple in education that they needed, and we did those last night. But otherwise, it was a slow night.
All right, well, we'll find out what took so long to get it rolling after we go to a break. Mike Jennings, our county attorney, is with us. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, Land Pride, quality tractor implements including cutters, finish mowers, box blades, tillers, and more. 5-year gearbox warranty. Extremely durable and well-built. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. The police trying to clear up this wreck 65 southbound at the North Loop. It's in two different spots. It's got traffic extra slow now on 65 southbound, working your way past Trinity Lane because of this wreck. Again, on 65 southbound at the North Loop. Watching traffic volume increase I-40 westbound, making your way out of Wilson County, coming through Mount Juliet into Hermitage. Hey, there's a high demand for dental assistants. Dental Staff School has an amazing 98% placement rate. Google Dental Staff School. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
Charles Lehman is asking for your vote for Wilson County Trustee August 4th. Charles grew up in Noreen and has been a lifelong resident of Wilson County. Charles Lehman brings a strong education tempered with decades of experience to provide the citizens of Wilson County with a rock-solid background for their next trustee. Working as an appraiser for the comptroller of the Treasury for 34 years and going into real estate after retirement, Charles brings a strong foundation to serve as your next trustee. Paid for by committee to elect Charles Lehman Treasurer.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
Coleman and Company, Mike Jennings is with us this morning, our county attorney, mayor of Watertown, and he is one who helped start this program, and you haven't stopped all the way through.
And Susie just showed me a picture of the first day.
Did she?
Yeah, you and I had a lot darker hair than she showed me the picture of everybody that gathered around the table that day, and I remember, I remember.
You and I, Bobby Jewell, Don Simpson. Oh, yep. Susie is, good morning.
She's got the proof in her hand.
Well, I had to take a picture of Miss Ada because, local celebrities. But after I took that picture, I realized just over in the corner, here is a picture of, I believe it's the very first Coleman and Company. I'm not totally sure, but right there front and center facing us is Mike Jennings.
That's
October of 1993.
Pretty sure that's it.
Right. There's Clyde Harville. That looks like Bobby Jewell, but Don Simpson is in front of him, and then there's you. All right. Then I don't know if we swapped the group, but this is a different view, and I'm in here. Fred Burton, Kathy Warmath, Joe Hayes, and Johnny Knowles. What a fabulous group.
Those were from the Lebanon City Council, three
Yes,
of them, I guess.
yes, yeah.
How about that?
So-
That's what, 25 years ago?
It's almost 29. 29.
29.
Yes, 29.
29 years, the second Monday in October.
I'm just here to document things. You carry on.
Hey,
We
you
appreciate
convinced
you.
me.
Appreciate you.
Well, I enjoy it. I hope we can carry on for a while.
I'll put
Some
these
mornings,
back in
that's
the
what we
trophy
do is carry on.
Okay, last night you had something of controversial nature, apparently, because it took a while to solve it. Had to do with rezoning, or?
It did, and it was the first time, I guess, that we've had a packed courtroom when there wasn't a tax increase to be discussed. But this was a zoning issue out on Burford Road, and I want to read this so I don't.
Burford Road is out off of 231. It maybe
is.
Old Hunters Point Pike.
It is, and a lot of people there last night. Is 66.2 acres seeking to be rezoned from A1 to R1 PUD Residential Planned Unit Development Overlay District. Bottom line, what that means is if you go there, you can put more lots in there than what you could under an R1. So the courtroom was full. We had a lot of comment during the public comment. Mayor Hutto put a limit of 3 minutes and asked people not to repeat the same thing over and over. And, you know, I've been in some of those meetings, Coleman, where people weren't very respectful. I thought they were pretty respectful last night by and large, except for a couple. At the end, when the public hearing was over, then it turned to debate for the county commission. First motion was to defer, and I really thought that would pass, and it didn't. It got 11 votes to defer and 14, better add up 25 here. Yeah. 14 not to defer. And so there was a little bit more debate, and then the motion to approve failed by a vote of 10 to 15. So the rezoning did not get approved last night at the county commission.
Now, what would, had this gone through, what would it actually have resulted in?
Well, it would have been 82 lots, smaller lots as I understand it. And the what we heard last night was the flooding issues and that problem, the traffic problems in that area, what it would do to our schools, you know, the number of people would increase. Traffic, not just on Burford Road, but on some of the roads that either feed into Burford or Burford feeds out or into them. Ultimately, either wind up at Coles Ferry or at 231 North. So a lot of good discussion last night. And like I said, I really thought when we closed the public hearing, I thought we'll have to do this again in a couple of months because they're fixing to defer this. But it didn't. It was
well, now, can they redesign and maybe ask for maybe larger lots? I mean,
they can. They can redesign and bring it back in a different way, but it'd have to start through the process again, through the planning commission. And, you know, I thought I heard somebody say last night, and if I'm saying this incorrectly, I apologize, but I thought I heard somebody say the way it's zoned now, you could get 51 lots. And, you know, nothing, as long as the site plan was approved, requires no rezoning or anything, but the rezoning would have allowed for 82 lots. So there was a significant difference there.
Well, I have an idea there were a number of happy people from that area with that decision.
It seemed to be. There was some who spoke in favor of it, not a lot, but some spoke in favor, but predominantly I would say 80% of the people that spoke were against it, and yes, I think they left
But
happy.
that consumed a lot of your time.
It did.
Night.
It consumed almost 2 hours. So, and we set those at the start of the meeting. Most of the time, they're not that controversial. And we set them at the start of the meeting so that people who are there just for that don't have to wait through the whole meeting. We used to do it the last thing.
So I meant all those with a report to give last. I had to wait. Had to wait for a while.
Now, some of them shortened their report because they were tired. It was a strange meeting in the sense that we didn't approve last month's minutes until 8:55, and that's right up at the top of the agenda.
Yeah.
So,
Well, anything from the reports by the different office holders and so on, anything significant?
Usual stuff, but always interested in the educational report. And Director Luttrell said last night that we finished with our average ADM for the year, for the last school year over the school year before that, we finished up over 1,000 students. And he said pre-registrations for the year that it's about to start in 2 weeks are already up 600. That's 1,600 people in it, basically a year and a half. And we all know what that means. That's either one high school or 2 elementary schools. Now, they're not all in the same place, obviously, but that's the constant pressure that the Board of Education and the director are under to make sure that we have teachers and staffing and facilities, and the pressure on the county commission and the county mayor to make sure that we can fund what we need.
Well, our growth has been such and continues to be that we can't build schools fast enough. It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is, and I hear some of the, those running for Board of Education saying we're going to slow down spending and that type of thing. And good luck with that. I mean, I don't know what you do other than closing a school or whatever, and that's not going to happen.
Well, I know I can understand people's concern that we do spend a lot of money in the county. We're spending more every year, but we're also having to pay employees more. And Mayor Hutto did bring a lot out about that yesterday, how that it's taken us, we've been working on this maybe since, I think, 2016 or even longer, to get the pay scale up to an appropriate level, maybe more comparable with other counties our size and so on, and that's not easy to do.
It's not, and that jogs my memory, and I hope I'm remembering this correctly, but I know Brian Newberry from WEMA last night thanked the commission for the increase in wages for all of them, and said where they were so many positions short, after that passed last month, they got 21 new applications. Now, they still have 29 openings, but he said they hoped. And then Chief Mike Owen, the Chief Deputy of the Sheriff's Department, talked about their correctional officers, but their applications increased, and he said, I hope to be back to you in a couple of months saying we have a full correctional staff.
And of course, we're having some teacher shortages too,
Yeah.
I hear. And part of that, I guess, is, well, some people retire. Some will retire earlier because of certain situations. Others, the grass seems greener on the other side, and they leave for that. Others maybe just change because of the pressures and so on. I like what we talked about yesterday, and the chambers of commerce have joined together, and this We Love Teachers, and showing our appreciation, and that ought to have some positive results.
Yeah, and Coleman, I'll get on my soapbox here a little bit. I don't really understand the concerted attack that seems to have been going on the last 5 years or so against teachers in education. I mean, you got to have an education to function in this world. You and I know this. And if and all of this effort to beat down teachers and beat down education, do we want the next generation to be uneducated? Is that what we want? We don't. We don't have enough workforce now. People are advertising needing help. We've got to train people, and we've got to teach them. And to do that, we've got to pay our teachers. But more importantly, in my mind, we have to support them instead of attacking them all the time. And so I won't charge you nothing for that. That's just the way I feel. And I'm a very big believer in education. I was fortunate to get a good education, fortunate to have parents that supported education and supported me. And I see that changing now. And to me, that is extremely scary.
Anything else from last night's meeting you think worthy of our discussion here? We've the big thing, of course, was the
rezoning.
The rezoning hearing, and then the other took about 35 minutes, I think.
It did, and people moved through that pretty quick. Of course, we didn't have very many committee meetings, so it was good as the mayor rattled those off to hear people say no report, no report. So we actually had only 2 committee meetings between the last meeting and now. We're only 18 days into the budget year. There really wasn't that much to meet about. And some of them are automatic meetings that we meet monthly anyway, but we just didn't have a lot to do last night.
Well, we got 2 minutes. We can talk about Watertown here, which We already mentioned the Jazz Festival and its success, but you still need money to pave roads. You need money for sewer and maybe water, and you're probably not going to move your city limits much until some of these things.
That's true. All those things are out there for us. We continue to work on that. We continue to work on our turntable project and had an encouraging meeting yesterday. And so we're continuing to pursue that. We got our budget passed, no tax increase, no increase in water and sewer rates. We held a status quo and gave a nice raise to our employees. Our employees still are the most underpaid in the county. I always get tickled when Lebanon or Mount Juliet or the county starts comparing, and they'll say, well, the other two are getting such, but nobody ever throws Watertown in there to compare. And I understand why. But things are moving along pretty well, and we got a meeting tonight, so may find out differently tonight, but I think everything's running okay.
What about the federal money that came in? Have you been able to put that to good use?
I have, or we have to a certain extent. We haven't expended all of it, and I kind of just been holding back a little bit to see what develops in other areas, in the sewer area, if we can use some of it there. We've used some for police equipment. We've used some for fire equipment, but I still am holding out hope that we're going to be able to cobble together enough money to pave some streets eventually. But the pavers won't be out there today. So.
All right. Mike Jennings, thank you so much. We'll see you next month, if not before.
All right.
And hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. That's it for today. And until tomorrow, I wish you a terrific day.